So Harley Davidson just released the Nightster. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you not know what you think about it? Roll the tape. The Harley Davidson Nightster, the all-original blacked-out bike, started in about 2007. I think they discontinued it in about 2012. Pretty much a bobbed-off bike with a 1200 engine. Pretty mean-looking bike, and it really started a trend of that whole blacked-out look for bikes that we're still seeing a lot of today, and it's still that look that strikes fear into the hearts of children everywhere. So as you know, a lot has been changing at Harley Davidson. I mean, honestly, they've really been trying to figure their stuff out and figure out who their clientele is, what these folks want. Honestly, a lot of the old school Harley crowd, they're aging out of these bikes, you know. Either they can't ride anymore or they're switching to smaller bikes, lighter bikes, which I talked to a lot of these guys, hey guys, on the channel here, in the comments. Or they've honestly, some of these folks have just gone on to glory and they're no longer on the planet. So Harley is really trying hard to figure out where they fit, what bikes people want, what they can do to attract a newer generation of rider, and, you know, honestly, some older guys like me. So fast forward to the fall of 2021, the Sportster S arrives on the scene. Modern look, liquid cooled, 1250 cc what is it called? Not the VMAX. The Revolution Max, get that right, engine. Really a pretty cool bike, but you know, some folks are kind of like going back and forth on that bike. They're not sure if they like the modern looks. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people don't know why they love it. Feel free to comment below and tell me what you think about it. But other people have already been missing the original Sportster, knowing that the old school design is pretty much disappearing. Folks have already been, you know, missing and hating to see that one go. And honestly, I'm one of those people. I hate to see the old one go. I kind of wish they could just make them side by side from now on. But to tell you the truth, if you want an old school Sportster, there's like a billion of them out there. So I'm pretty sure you can get you a Sportster. Even if you have to buy it used, you can get a hold of a Sportster. So behold, the Harley Davidson Nightster. Even the name sounds scary. It's got more of a classic Sportster look. They totally redesigned the tank, but it's got all the modern performance features that a lot of folks are wanting these days. Some will love it, some will hate it, and some could care less. But times they are a-changin', and you know, the 11th commandment says, "Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be broken." So times change, it's just a fact of life, it's the way things are, and yeah, I'm not against change, I'm not against things, you know, changing, moving along. Now, change isn't always for the better, we obviously know that. I won't get real philosophical with you. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it has some good, and sometimes it has some bad mixed in, but change is coming, believe it. So let's talk specs about this bike. 86.9 inches long with a seat height of 27 inches, 4.5 ground clearance with a lean angle of 32, and that's on both the left and the right sides. The wheels are an aluminum cast in satin black. You got a 16-inch rear with a 19-inch front tire. The bike weighs in at about 481 with all the fluids and gas and everything in it. It's got a liquid-cooled Revolution Max 975T. So the one thing that it doesn't have the original had is it doesn't have that bigger engine. But believe me, the way they're making these engines, 975 is probably plenty, to tell you the truth. You can disagree. I know you will. Comment below. It's got a 6-speed gearbox, 70 foot-pounds of torque, 5,000 engine torque, 90 horsepower at 75 RPMs. A 2-in-1 exhaust system that I think is freaking cool. Holds about 3.1 gallons of gas, and get this, gets 52.4 miles to the gallon. So the tank on this bike actually sits below the seat. So where the tank is actually the air box and all that. which apparently lowers the center of gravity, makes the bike have a greater balance, and supposedly makes it handle absolutely amazing. Can somebody say V-Rod? What's up, Picasso? The frame actually uses the powertrain as part of the frame instead of the traditional hoop style frame system. So it makes a really rigid framed bike. It significantly reduces the weight and it stiffens up the chassis, which, believe me, that's a good thing. Can somebody say Indian? Comes in 3 colors: gunship gray, red line red, and my personal favorite, of course, satin black. All the lights and the turn signals, all LED. Got a 4-inch infotainment gauge cluster thing there with all the bells and whistles. I mean, I'd read you the list, but go to Harley, read the specs yourself. It's got everything, okay? Get this, comes with ABS, traction control, and a drag torque control system. All standard. Bike starts at about $13,499. Expect to pay about $400 more if you want the gray or the red. So the black is actually $13,499. Add another $575 for freight and another $500 for surcharge. And if you're in California, sorry man, it's another $200 for emissions. There's all kinds of parts already available on Harley's site for this thing. So check them out, harleydavidson.com or whatever. They got a whole video. Watch the video from Harley. It's amazing. There's some really cool stuff on that video that they just released today. You get to check out the bike. You'll find all about it. And on their website, there's some really cool videos about the accessories. Like this right here.
The all-new Nightster looks great. Now let's step it up a notch with these 2 intake options. First up, the Velocity Stack. I like this. It's got that performance look, hot rod styling. It's manufactured at a 2.5-inch spun aluminum, and you got 2 color options, either clear anodized or, as you see right here, the gloss black. If you look inside, you'll see the stainless steel mesh. Bumping it up quite a bit, the heavy breather. Now this is that reusable, washable element air filter. So you're gonna save some money and you're gonna add some performance to your bike. You get 2 color options, either chrome or gloss black. Both kits come with necessary hardware. The question is, which intake are you putting on your Nightster?
So those air cleaners are pretty cool, but trust me, as with everything Harley Davidson, it's not cheap. I think you're looking about $250 or something for just that little Velocity Stack, which I think is pretty cool. If you want to get the bigger one, I think it's like $3 something, I don't know. Look it up. So, the Harley Davidson Nightster, the 2022 Nightster. Tell me what you think. Comment below. Tell me if you like it, you hate it, you can't stand it. I honestly think it's a pretty cool bike. Now, I haven't seen it in person yet, but just watching the video, I really like the looks of this bike. I think it's very cool. I think it's a really good step for Harley to kind of meet a need that, you know, that's out there, and that I think there's going to be a lot of people that are really interested in this little more classic style, kind of maintaining that classic style. And it's a little bit more, honestly, of, I don't know if you want to call it an entry-level bike, but a kind of, it's a little more accessible than the Sportster S because it's got a little less of an engine and still got plenty of power and all that, but it's a bit cheaper as well. So if you want to see more, definitely check out Harley's video or go to harleydavidson.com, check it out, or go to your local Harley dealer and or give them a ring and see if they got one in stock. Maybe you can set up, I know on their website you can set up a test ride if you want to go check one out. So check that out. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Keep talking to me. I love talking to you guys. Yeah, we're buds. Let's talk. I hope you like talking to me, but let's talk. Yeah, but let me know what you think of the bike. I think it's really, really cool. I think it's neat that Harley is doing some stuff that's new and different, and you know, they've still got a lot of the traditional stuff as well, so there's really a bike for everybody. I don't think we got to get real excited about this. If you don't like it, I don't think we got to get nervous about that or anything, because there's a lot of bikes out there, and honestly, like I said before, if you still desire an old school Sportster, I mean, and you might want to go way back on a Sportster, you know what I'm saying? They're out there. You can find them. And you want something that maybe is easier to wrench on and such, an older one might be the way to go. So you can find those things. So don't get excited, and we don't got to be hating people because they maybe like the new one and all that. So let's just all ride what we want to ride, and let's all be friends, and let's all try to get along. All right, kids? All right. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Comment below. It's Fastlane.